You're listening to the Simply Vegan podcast, the show that's all about making veganism easy, fun and accessible. Brought to you by the team at Vegan Food and Living, the UK's best-selling vegan magazine. You can catch us every Tuesday and every Thursday.
Well, today I'm going to be having a lovely chat with Kate Thompson, who is the most recent winner of Come Dine With Me and the first vegan winner in 15 years. But before we get started, don't forget that you can try our best-selling magazine, Vegan Food and Living, for just 99p by visiting veganfoodandliving.com/podcast or using code podcast when you order with us. You can choose between a print or digital plus membership and receive the latest issue to your door or to your device, along with easy access to thousands of plant-based recipes in our fully searchable digital magazine archive. Join us today and make cooking delicious vegan food that much more exciting by visiting veganfoodandliving.com/podcast. Hi, Kate. Welcome to Simply Vegan Podcast. Congratulations on your recent win on Come Dine With Me. Do you want to start by telling us what you do and when you went vegan and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of what I do, I work in the events industry. So I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own venue sourcing business. So I find venues for clients' conferences and events and so on. I've been doing that for over 15 years now. I've kind of always been in the events industry. Events being events, the pandemic greatly impacted and everything just cancelled and stopped overnight and for a long, long time. So I'm a single parent. I needed to earn money. So what I did was I ended up looking at other options that I could do whilst the events industry recovered. So I actually represented a brand, and this was before I came vegan, but it had vegetarian and vegan products. So it sort of got me thinking about things. And I started watching documentaries like Cowspiracy and Blackfish and all these documentaries. And I just sort of had this light bulb moment. One day I was walking through the supermarket and I was down the meat aisle. Completely, I went from being meat eater to vegan. I didn't even transition through vegetarianism. And I was picking up a pack of meat and I just thought, what am I doing? I just completely disassociated with what this is, what this animal has gone through to end up on my plate. And I just, as I say, light bulb moment. And I just thought, right, I'm going to go vegan overnight. And representing vegan products, I'd learned an awful lot more about it. And that in combination with the documentaries, I just thought, right, I'm not one to do things by halves. And I literally set myself a date about a week after and said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it overnight. And I'm going to give myself a month because I might not last. I listened to all the myths, veganism's hard and it's expensive and it's all this. And I kind of wanted to see what that was about. And within a week and a half, 2 weeks, I knew I was vegan for life. And actually, I absolutely loved it. And I discovered all these new incredible foods. Jackfruit, never heard of that before. Banana blossom. I'd always thought tofu, yuck. I absolutely love it now. It was a real eye-opener experience. And vegan for life.
Amazing. So you haven't actually been vegan that long then? A few years?
Yeah, so October 2020, it was during the pandemic and, I love to cook at home and I work from home and I got into it and I just, never looked back. So I started a food blog on Instagram and that kind of kept me sane during the pandemic with all that was going on and sharing my love of food cooking, home cooking, and I love food photography as well. I'm really obsessed with presentation. So I did that and just carried on and built up a following, which was great.
So how did you come to be on Come Dine With Me?
Yeah, so I'd started the food blog and it was building up my followers and really what was so lovely about it, the vegan community that I started to connect with on a day-to-day basis was like a big warm hug of loveliness. And it was great. I didn't know any vegans in real life. And it was like having this community was not only a great way of learning about products, but connecting with kind of like-minded people out there and finding new recipes and things like that. So as that built up, I had a follower one day and he messaged me and he said, I love your food. And actually he was vegan as well. And it turned out that he was a TV researcher for Come Dine With Me. Now, I literally trawled through his profile thinking, who is this? Yeah, right, whatever. He said, we'd love you to apply. And I thought I'd done all my sleuthing, and turned out it was all kosher. And we ended up having a chat, and we really got on. And he said, yeah, we'd love you to apply. So I went through quite a lengthy process of having to do Zoom calls, having to submit menus, ideas. And then that got pitched to Channel 4, who ended up obviously televising it. And about 2 weeks before the show, I got a call saying, you're on. So yeah, like panic mode. What am I going to, how am I going to do this? Because I had three goals going into it. And one was, I want to be authentic. I want to enjoy the experience. But the top goal was, I want to do vegan food justice, and I want people to see how actually great it can be, and dispel some of the myths that I believed before I turned to veganism.
Yeah. I mean, I could just not do it. I'd be so stressed. And I think, being vegan, there's that huge added pressure because you feel like you're there representing veganism, don't you? So I can imagine it was, pretty daunting. So how, what was the experience like? How did people react? How did you go about planning your meals? Just tell us about the whole process.
So for me, because I've only been vegan it'll be coming up to a couple of years now, I wanted, I did know that I was going to be going up against meat eaters. So I wanted to give them not something kind of out there that, I wanted to give them something that was really a vegan version of what a meat eater would like, if that makes sense. And so I wanted to give them a really traditional menu, because in fitting with the theme of the 20s, I kind of thought I can't do something really, really modern. It's got to be quite a traditional menu that gives the punch flavors that they're going to like. And I sort of felt that I had a bit of an advantage because I was recently a meat eater in terms of knowing what hopefully they would like. I went all out and I cooked my heart out. I just wanted to do it justice. I put the menu together, and I thought long and hard about what to do. I mean, like sticky toffee pudding. There's not many people out there that don't like sticky toffee pudding, hopefully. So I thought that could be a bit of a winning dish. And, mushrooms give so much flavour in terms of the main course. That could be the meat equivalent for them. And I didn't want to make it easy for myself. I didn't use a meat substitute, even though there's some brilliant ones out there, because I wanted to go down that route, even though it was a bit of a risk. Not everyone likes mushrooms. I spent 2 weeks of lacking in sleep, listening to meditation every night to just try and calm me down and think. I'm a huge overthinker. I overthink conversations that haven't even happened. So can you imagine sitting on a set with cameras right next to you and thinking, if I say that, and I didn't want to be thinking like that. So I tried to switch off as much as I could. And after I'd cooked, I really relaxed a lot more after my cooking day. So that was great. But yeah, the reactions from the others, they were actually all really open to vegan food, and that helped no end. But you're right, I did feel that I had a disadvantage probably going in, not knowing who I was going to be coming up against. I thought they might have like a, farmer or someone that was a real staunch meat eater. And actually they were super, super lovely and really open to it. So that was, half the battle won.
Yeah, definitely. It could have gone completely the other way, couldn't it? So your starter was it vegan mozzarella with asparagus and tomato, like a tart, wasn't it?
It was, and I'd done some slow-cooked balsamic onions to go with it as well, and then added a bit of balsamic at the end with some fresh basil, because I love fresh basil. That was quite that. The mozzarella, the vegan mozzarella that I used is literally my favourite vegan cheese. Not that I represent them, but it really, I think it makes it because it gives that extra flavour in the tart.
Yeah. What brand was it?
It's mozzarella.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, a friend told me about it, in advance of the show, and I was like, I have to get my hands on this. I literally ordered about 4 of them when I was prepared. I cooked the whole entire menu 6 times before I went on the show.
Wow, God, it sounds really
So,
expensive. Do you have to pay for all that out of your own pocket?
well, I definitely exceeded my budget, probably cooking it twice. And you have to bring your own wine and things like that as well. And I'd said to the producers, listen, please, can all the wine, everything be that everybody else brings be vegan, because so that there's not this awkwardness that I get every time I go to a bar and a pub saying, is this vegan? And they go off for 20 minutes to check. So yeah, well, I definitely spent more, but it was because I just, I didn't ever anticipate to win, but actually I had to just do it justice. So I'm one for preparing for things. I work in events.
Yeah. What about the food that everyone else cooked for you then? Was it like a mixed bag? How did it go down?
A real mixed bag. And I wanted to go on the show and be completely honest. Every single night, my score, I thought long and hard about. And I gave the score that I felt that it deserved. Lindsay, on the first night, actually, I've watched the edit back and it looks a little bit cruel because she described it, I think, as rank when she was cooking mine, which, bless her, it actually wasn't. It was really tasty. She used a really nice vegan cheese in hers, and I was really anxious because I do find vegan cheese a little bit hit and miss, so I'm really fussy on that. So actually her main course was really nice. She did a good job. I just would have loved some potatoes.
Yeah, so they had butter on them, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. So she'd bought pre-packaged potatoes because she was really nervous that she had the first night, bless her. So she'd wanted to make things easy for herself. But yeah, the show seemed to like the fact that I didn't have potatoes. So they aired that quite a lot. And so many people messaged me about, well, did you get any potatoes? No.
I mean, vegan potatoes, surely like one of the easiest things ever to cook. It's just potatoes.
Literally potatoes, just add a bit of salt and vegan butter, and so yeah, never mind. But it was quite amusing watching that back. So her food tasted all right actually. And then second night was Rob's, and Rob did really well. And the only thing that hindered him on the main course for me was that I wasn't the biggest fan of the vegan cheese, and it's a lasagna, it's packed with cheese.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it's always best to sort of stick to kind of the natural ingredients, isn't it, rather than trying to do the fake substitutes sometimes. Do you think attitudes have changed towards vegans then recent years? I mean, I know you've only been vegan a few years, but it seems like everyone was quite open to it. I mean, I know, even on sort of Gogglebox recently, there's been, a lot of negative attitudes towards vegans, but your sort of experience was quite positive.
It was really positive. And actually they Come Dine With Me send you an 11-page social media document, which they say you've got to read this and tell us that you've read it and agreed to it and all this. And it basically, I'll summarize it for you. Don't go on Twitter is their advice. And I actually did go on Twitter the first 2 nights. And yes, there's a lot of, oh no, there's a vegan on it again. Oh no, what if the vegan wins and all this? So I did. And then I chose not to go on it on my night because I just thought there's going to be a lot of things out there. And it's been nothing short of mind-blowing reading the comments. I've seen thousands of comments on Facebook, Instagram. I haven't, as I say, delved too much into Twitter, but my sister had that monitored and she was like, oh my God, you're getting really positive comments. And I honestly, out of all the 1,000 comments that I've seen on the various posts that have been shared, there's probably about 2 troll comments. I'm not talking about Twitter. And I was blown away. They've just been, can I just read one out? Which literally I said, I replied to it and I just thought that's made my day. Somebody wrote, I've never tried vegan food, but it seems she did a fantastic job. She definitely made me open to trying something different. And it was like, that's what I was after, just sharing the love and saying it's actually tasty food.
Definitely. Oh, well done. That is just music to my ears. And I'm sure everyone listening will be happy to hear that as well, because like you say, you weren't there pressing it on anyone, were you? And your night was 20s themed. It wasn't like, I'm a vegan and this is all, a vegan themed night. It was the roaring 20s and it was all quite, light-hearted and everything. And I mean, I've just got back from Glastonbury, as you know, and my favourite stalls were the ones that weren't, splashed with vegan signs everywhere. Some of them, they literally had the smallest sign saying 100% plant-based. And I was in the queue and people queuing up for, hot dogs or whatever it was. And when I said to them, it's vegan, they didn't understand. They were like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. And I think that's the way forward, isn't it? Just, let's just not make a big fuss about it. It's food. It tastes good. It's healthy. It's good for the planet. So, just
absolutely,
enjoy it.
Yeah. That's great. By the way, I'm just still so super jealous that you went to Glastonbury and I didn't. But there we go. That's a side note. I'm a big believer about trying to, if you're trying to make change in people's lives, you've got to win hearts and minds. And unfortunately, whilst I think, credit to every vegan out there, we all have different ways of doing things. My own personal opinion is that you've got to win hearts and minds, and doing that in a way that actually, have you tried this? Behind the scenes at Come Dine with Me, the crew were all really lovely. And on my cooking day, because I'd given myself about 2 days worth of preparation, I was like a whirlwind that day. And they'd gone out to buy some lunch in because they brought sandwiches in and none of them were vegan. So they said, we'll go out. They ended up going to Greg's. And I said, right, can you get several Greg's vegan sausage rolls? And I made all the crew try them and they were blown away. So behind the scenes, I was trying to get the crew.
Love that.
And I also think as well, I'm sure you and I both would love everyone in the world to go vegan overnight, but it's not going to happen. And I think the fact that people are open to it and maybe try 1 day here, 2 days a week here, that has an impact. And that, makes my day to know that more people from this hopefully will do that. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. It's what we need. We need more vegans on mainstream TV. So where can everyone follow you on Instagram then? And what are your plans from here on out?
So my Instagram name, which I did think about changing because it's a bit naff, but it makes my daughter laugh. So it's a bit cheesy. She calls me @Katie_vegan_lifestyle is my Insta name. So and I'm sharing a few things on that at the moment in regards to the show, and my recipes are on there as well, so you can follow me there. And I also have a website which is on my Insta profile, so follow me. And at the moment I'm replying to every comment because I'm loving all the positivity. So moving forward, I've got a website where I share my recipes, and really at the moment it's to just help people try and adapt to a vegan lifestyle or a semi-vegan lifestyle. So that's the reason that I created that. We'll see where it goes from here. Events have returned now, so my business is back and kind of booming. But I'm so passionate about veganism, so I'm open to offers.
Fantastic. So were you the first vegan winner amongst meat eaters on Come Dine with Me?
Well, originally, so when I found out on the show, obviously you find out on the night, the director said, oh my God, you're the first vegan to win in 15 years. And I was like, I'm literally crying anyway because I've won, against people this week, and it's been such a mind-blowing experience. And then I got a call about 4 weeks ago saying it's going to be aired last week. And I said, oh, great, because I'd love to get some articles out about, first vegan to win. And the guy said, hang on. He said, there have been one or two, but in 15 years. And I said, well, he said, you're the first in the Northeast. So yeah, I'll take that as an accolade. I mean, and one of very few.
Exactly. 15 years is quite a long time. So we'll go with that. And what did you do with the money? What have you done with it?
Well, I think I spent it on the preparation, Holly.
All that vegan cheese.
Yeah, well, not just that. I bought, because I'm in events, I I brought all the plates, all the plates and saucers, and the champagne glasses were all mine in advance. So I'd gone all out. So yeah, and then the outfits and things like that. But for me, it was about the experience, and so I didn't mind committing financially up front. So some of it went back into my bank account. And then, yeah, I did go out for a slap-up vegan meal with my daughter. We went out to celebrate. So that was lovely.
I love that.
It's nice. There's a lot more vegan options now in the Northeast. So it's really exciting. I get so excited going into a restaurant when there's more than 3 options on a menu.
I know. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? You don't know what to choose. You're like, hang on, I've got options here.
There's like more than a veggie chili in a burger. Wow. It's like tofu.
Well, Kate, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone go and follow Kate over on Instagram and put some lovely comments and get behind our vegan winner.
Thank you so much. And I've really enjoyed taking part in this and chatting with you. Cheers, Holly.
Yeah, thank you. As always, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I'm back on Tuesday with Molly and we're going to be talking accidentally vegan products, things like crisps, chocolate, biscuits, noodles, all the good stuff that might not necessarily be labelled as vegan. And then next Thursday, I'll be speaking to Paula Benidi from Synergize Nutrition. She's going to be talking about inflammation and eating for optimum health.